Hello everyone, Joey Zero here, and today I'm going to show you how to get the Perfect Riven. Step 1, buy a resource booster. Step 2, grind. Hello everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Joey Zero's weekly Warframe show. I'm Joey Zero, and today we're kind of talking about resources a bit. But before we get into any of that, as usual, let's take a look at what we got this week in Warframe. First off, we got Equinox Prime access. I did a giveaway on stream, and I also posted an unlisted video about it ahead of time for those of you that are on that notification squad, so, that was fun. We also got the Stradivar Prime and the Tipeto Prime, both of which are pretty cool. They aren't game changers for me, which is a little disappointing. Equinox, however, is amazing. I know you guys are gonna say that my fashion is a little bit edgy, but I can't unsee this, and now neither can you. Either way, the frame looks great, and Equinox is a really amazing frame all around anyway, so awesome. Now, I've had some people asking on stream if she's worth a purchase, and I'd say that she absolutely is, especially if you're newer in the game, just because she does so much. The weapons are pretty solid, though not as exciting as I'd hoped for, and the accessories look really, really interesting. I grinded her out day one because I can't afford her Prime access this time around, but there you go. As usual, make your own decisions, form your own opinions, all that jazz. Okay, next up, Riven dispositions were changed. I'm not going over all of them here because there's a bajillion of them, but basically, a few of the newer or more overpowered weapons had their dispositions nerfed, but almost all other weapons had their dispositions buffed. This update did actually come with a warning for players looking to purchase Rivens, so, just keep an eye out if that's the thing that you're looking to do. And finally, and one of the reasons why the video is a day late, we got the Plains remaster. Honestly, I haven't had a chance to play any of the new content yet. Maybe we'll do that on stream later today, that'd be neat. But the Plains now looks gorgeous. We've got those new thumpers in game, we've got the new Plains conservation, a change to the Cetus economy, and we got a slew of buffs. Lots of weapons got buffed, like for example the Nell is now automatic, love that. Signature weapons were buffed when they are used by the Warframe that they go with, and air casting is now here. That's right, Trinity can now cast Link in mid-air now. This is a really big deal. There were a lot of frames that also got similar treatment, but I think Trinity was the one that I was most confused about, I guess, as far as why she couldn't. Now she can. Love that. Anyway, I'm not going over all the weapons and buffs and everything here because there's just way too much to go over there, but I totally suggest taking a look over those patch notes for yourself if you are curious.
Yes, hello, and thank you for calling. How can I help you today?
Yes, I'd like to order a pizza for delivery.
Alright, what can I get you?
I'd like one large, energy pizza, please. Oh, do you guys have any deals for, how many toppings I can get?
I'm sorry, you said you wanted what kind of pizza?
One large, energy pizza.
Did you say energy pizza?
Yes.
I'm sorry, I don't know what you mean by energy pizza.
An energy pizza.
I don't think we have energy pizza here.
How do you guys not have, energy pizza?
I'm sorry, it's not really something we carry.
Hang on. I hate to be that guy, but can I speak with the manager, please?
Hang on one moment. manager on duty tonight. What can I do for you?
Yeah, I'm just trying to order a large energy pizza and that
Yeah,
last guy.
unfortunately, we just don't carry those, energy pizzas.
Yes.
Yeah, we just don't have anything like that in stock.
Well, can you make one? What's the closest thing you got?
I'm sorry, I'm not really sure what would even go on an energy pizza anyway.
Basically, just polymer bundles and nanospores. You mix them up, you put them in the oven for a minute. It's not hard.
I'm sorry, we just don't have anything.
Polymer bundles and nanospores!
Look, man, I don't know what to tell you. I'm sorry, but we just don't have the stuff here to make what you're looking for. Now, if I can get you any other kind of pizza, I'm sure we can do that, but it's gotta be something we carry.
All right. I guess I'll take a large pepperoni then.
Alright, so large pepperoni. Anything to drink?
How about some, Xeneric brand energy soda?
Somewhat.
And now it's time for an unpopular opinion.
The Hema.
You just watched Xenogelion giving an unpopular opinion. Brought to you by Xeneric brand energy soda. Get energized.
Do you guys also like it when you found like a brand new series to watch and then you can watch it whilst farming in Warframe? Ah, it's just the best thing ever. What's your favorite series, by the way? Let me know in the comments down below. And wait, what's that? Oh shit! Literally all of my resources just fell down. What a coincidence. Guess it's time to farm them. Hey there fellow Tenno, my name is Michel and today we're going to go over the best farm locations for every single resource in about 2 minutes time. Before we begin, the way that I found these nodes is that I took about 3 of the most popular farm nodes for each resource and ran them all 3 times. Then I took the average of all runs and here we go, these are the best of them. Keep in mind though that resource drops can be different from one run to the next. However, taking a Necros or Hydrate with you for the extra loot it's never a bad practice. So, let's get a time on the screen, boom, let's go. First off, Alloy Plate. Best place to farm that is on Draco's series. It's a survival mission and they tend to work really well for resource farming. Pro tip with any survival is to explore the entire map and loot every single box and locker you can find. Next up, Argon Crystal. Argon can be found anywhere in the Void, but I would recommend Haypit. It's the easiest capture node. Just capture the guy and scavenge around until you have the Argon you need and get out. Super simple, super quick. Then we have Circuits. These also drop best on Draco's series. After that we have Control Modules. Now Control Modules drop pretty well in the any survival in the Void, however I'm going to recommend the Hyena Pack Assassination on Neptune. It might give a little less modules per run, but you can crank these runs out in about 2 minutes, making it more efficient. Following that we have Cryotic. Cryotic is this resource you can get from completing excavations. Because you can only get 100 Cryotic per excavator, regardless of level, go the efforts on Earth. It's simply the easiest excavation there is. Then we have Ferrite. Honestly, that just drops really well on any in the Void. Ooh, here we have Gallium. Gallium is a so-called rare resource, but it drops really well in the Sur Uranus. That's because this node is a dark sector survival, which means that it has a higher drop rate and increased affinity. Now, is it just me or do I always associate Morphix with Captain 4? Anyway, even though he does drop them pretty commonly, Wahiba on Mars is a far better farm. Just like Azure, it's a dark sector and it just has a bunch of Morphics. Then we have Nanospores. They drop really well for Sabala and Eris. Neural Sensors, can you even farm them anywhere else than Alat Phi on Jupiter? Neurodes, just like the Nanospores, go to Sabala. Oh, here we go, Orokin Cell. Especially for the newer players, this is one of the more important items for crafting warframes and weapons. So go to Draco on series, they don't drop in large numbers, but I got some every 5 minutes. Next up we have Plastids. They drop from our pretty familiar already, Sabala Eris. Polymer Bundle is a great drop on Ophelia Uranus. For Rubido, go to Sigma on Phobos and make sure to take a good rifle for the extra affinity. Then we have Salvage, which you can get on Wahiba on Mars. We've already seen this node before, but it just gave me some super nice amount every single time I ran it. And then we have another interesting one, Tellurium. Tellurium is kind of the Arcwing specific resource, though it does also tend to drop on a few regular Warframe missions. Still, for the sake of not completely abandoning Arcwing, go to Kalos Uranus. This interception mission is surprisingly not the worst Arcwing you've ever seen and works pretty good for leveling too. Finally, we have these resources, the Dita Injector, Field Run, and Mutagamos. Previously you had to either farm parts to craft them or run these very inefficient innovations. but now they all drop from Fortuna bounties, which has just become by far the fastest way of getting them. And that's it. I think we got a little over 2 minutes, but whatever. I hope this helps you in your resource grind. I know it might have been a little bit information dense today, but I think the information is just super useful. Anyway, I'll see you all next week.
Welcome to my Tech of the Week. That's right. My name is XandyPants, and a few days ago, I saw this tip. Well, it wasn't my tip, but it was unlike anything I'd ever seen before. It was so fast, so technical, so graceful, almost feline. And it inspired me to embrace my enthusiasm for synergy. And since I had already been straying in the direction of build and tech discussions, I've decided to reach for the top of the star chart and bring you the sick tech in my heart. This is Atlas, and that is my working draft of an Orgaze build. I want to have options when I want more loot. I don't want to have to rely on Necros every time, and Atlas has a strange advantage with Orgaze and Petrify. It can help him kill the enemies in the first place. Oh, so a basic introduction, Orgaze is affected by strength, so you will get extra loot most of the time with this much strength, and the range aims to effectively hit as many enemies as possible in that cone-shaped area. I'm looking to use energy orbs among that extra loot, as well as Deathcube's energy generator precept and Xenoric, to keep my energy going while I spam away. And spamming is really important here because Orgaze doesn't give loot automatically like Desecrate. You have to, use the ability and hit stuff before it's dead. This is why people use Necros, but anyway, that's what it takes. Right, the thing about how this helps you kill the enemies in the first place. Petrify pauses the duration of status effects, just as it prevents new ones from applying while enemies are covered in stone, and damaging status effects will keep ticking forever until the Petrify effect ends. So you can see that these slash procs and the viral procs, which I applied before Petrify, are now frozen on the enemies. I can't add more, you see there's no procs in that explosion, but those ones I already applied stay until the enemies come out, and now they're still there. They'll wear off now that the effect's ended. There's a lot of ways you can use this to your advantage. Because your optimal way to kill enemies doesn't actually kill them that fast by default, as long as you don't need them off an interception point or something, Deathcube can tag them for assists, and then you'll get way more out of Energy Generator and Synth Deconstruct. And for melee, there's a lot. So first of all, this is kind of an experimental melee setup, and Steel Charge is, for once, not here just for its mod capacity boost. It is actually needed for some base melee damage, because I don't think I'm going to be able to fit the base damage mod in. And I'm also running Arcane Fury to kind of take care of that base damage for me, so I don't need to focus on using a slot for Prime Pressure Point. Now currently I don't have the build full, this is just experimental at this point. So first of all, Enduring Affliction has an interesting interaction. This mod is pretty poorly worded, but what it does is when you hit a target that has a status effect, this adds duration to the status effect. So I've got the enemies with the procs from the Tsar on them, just like before, and now I've frozen them. I'm gonna melee them and channel. And if they don't just outright die, you're gonna see that these enemies hit by the channeling while they were petrified, and they can't normally be affected by more procs. It's gonna take a lot longer for their procs to wear off. You see these slash and viral procs from the Cannon Blast have already been on for 15-20 seconds already, and they're still not coming off. So you can essentially extend the duration of the procs you have on your enemies while they're frozen. Another thing is Relentless Combination, so you can freeze the enemies in your rock, and then while you are attacking them, you'll be building combo, and the slash procs will maintain themselves on there, so you just have to attack a few times, and you basically just have a source of combo duration, and you're also extending your combo counter and enhancing it. So you see these enemies are paused, and now my combo counter is just going nuts, and I can just walk around and do whatever I want, and shoot my weapon, and do whatever, and my combo is still going up. Here's the Tsar build I've been using. As you can see, basically just viral hunter munitions. One quick thing to note is that cold procs do extend the duration of status effects and do something kind of similar to this normally, but because you're pausing or extending the status effects already, it's a lot more effective to get viral, which is giving you the damage represented by a cold or viral proc up front. You're not extending the proc even further. And a quick note about Enduring Affliction, I don't believe this mod has been touched, and it's rarely been discussed for a very long time, so when we get the rest of the Melee 3.0 modding changes, just keep an eye on that. It might change, or just outright be removed or transformed, depending on what changes during that update, so just keep an eye on that. I've been Xandy, and you've been Dandy, and I hope you're now very rocky, with lots of rubble to protect you, and plenty of loot in your pocket. Thanks for tuning in to my Tech of the Week, and I hope you enjoy the rest of our show.
Okay, so today we're doing a pretty straightforward review of a pretty straightforward weapon, the Supra. There's the default Supra and the Supra Vandal, which as you might have guessed is just a straight upgrade to the Supra. It's MR14 and you get it from Barrow, but it's totally worth it. This is a full auto projectile rifle with a massive magazine, a massive ammo pool, some high base status, and some pretty high fire rate that spools up pretty quickly. So right out the gate, I think I should mention that this weapon's stats really seem to favor some spray-heavy play. You don't have to play like that to get value out of this weapon, but it makes things easier and potentially a bit more fun if you do. But yeah, I've been treating this as less of a gun and more of a water hose with a Tron aesthetic. You also pick up more ammo than usual with this thing every time you pick up some rifle ammo, meaning that even without ammo max or ammo mutation mods, you've really got to actively try to run out of ammo with this thing. The biggest downside of playing the Supra in a spray-heavy way is that it's got a pretty long reload time, which you can alleviate by running some reload speed on your build, or by choosing to reload tactically. Worth noting, with the giant magazine size, if you're not great at choosing good times to reload and you want to get better at that, this is a good weapon to help stress that skill a little bit. Anyway, it also has a Syndicate augment, which increases its base status chance and gives you energy when the Syndicate proc goes off, which has honestly made this my go-to for when I want to bring a primary to help with my energy economy. Move over, Racta Ceranos and Cynoid Simulor. Okay,
The viral from the Blight proc is nice, but I find rifles to be more friendly in general use case scenarios.
Anyway, so with some high status, which we don't need 100% status, remember, you can easily run this thing for armor stripping by adding those status mods for corrosive. Really solid. Also, since we're playing in a way that is a bit trigger happy, I really like heavy caliber on this one, but, make your own decisions on that one. And of course, since this is a projectile weapon, if you get a Riven, this weapon can be tailored to fit your playstyle pretty well with some of that mod replacing main stat glory, or with tertiary stats like reload speed, flight speed, accuracy, recoil. All those are stats that can significantly change the way that you use this weapon. But yeah, that's it. Like I said, pretty straightforward. 4 out of 5 on this one, if for nothing more than its sheer reliability as a weapon. You got reliable armor stripping, reliable energy, reliable ammo economy, just reliable all around. Honestly, this is my favorite of the Syndicate proc weapons, and it's my favorite full auto projectile primary as well. Not that there are a ton of those floating around out there, but I just thought it was worth mentioning. Anyway, what other weapons do you guys want to see covered next? Make sure to leave a comment down below and we'll review it on a future episode. All right, that's it for this episode of Joey Zero's Weekly Warframe show. As usual, make sure that you guys check out the links in the description. All the links to the channels and social media of everybody involved in the creation of this episode are going to be listed down below. So those are links to Sabuuchi, who laid down a voiceover for this episode, Xenogelion, XandyPants, and Michel Postma. If you haven't already, make sure that you're subscribed. Maybe ring that bell, jump on that notification squad, But that's it. Once again, my name's Joey Zero. Okay, bye.